Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for, what is this again? Married to Medicine, Season 6, Episode 6, A Room Without a View. Now, this show has definitely taken a turn. It's taken a turn due to the fact that, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because of what's going on in everyone's lives, and because of that, it's just everyone's focused on other things, and the show's definitely not the same. And it's on Sundays. I'm just like, dang it, we've been wanting it to be on Sundays for so long, and now that it is, it's on Sundays, but it's given us this. I respect it because it's real life, and it's interesting enough because I'm invested in the characters, but some of this stuff I'm just looking at like... So the episode starts off with Contessa. She actually talked to Dr. Jackie. She told her husband, Dr. Scott, that she has the appointment today. And he was just like, tomorrow. He was like, what? Oh, okay. Toya and Eugene, they went to their forever home, and it's already being built up. I said, okay, that looks like real craftsmanship. This is really happening. This is when you have the money to go and build a home. Oh, so it's not supposed to take so long. Okay, I'm being petty. It's Sunday. Stop it. So they go there, and they're talking about the different things that they wanted. Cool, great. And then Toya starts talking about her issues with Contessa. She's like, she loves Scott, great guy. Contessa, they're just very different. They care about different things. They focus on different things. And when I say different things, I mean, Toya, stuff like that will affect her. Contessa, because of military background, doctor background, she can't let that dumb stuff, she can't let that stuff affect her the way that it affects Toya. She just has to go and acknowledge that, okay, it happened, and move on. And an apology. That's it. Move on. Also with Quad's going through stuff. But all of this negative energy is messing up the fact that they're in their future bedroom. So let's move out of here. Let's stop talking about Scott and Greg. Now we see back in Miami, they're outside. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Simone, they're outside soaking in some rays, and they're going to be moving. Well, actually, Toya calls, and Dr. Jackie cut it short because Toya called them the Golden Girls. It's like, hey, it's the Golden Girls. Or do you know what your nickname is? And she says it. Dr. Jackie wasn't having that. So now they're going to go and hopefully have better experiences with the ladies when they come back. Because Dr. Jackie was talking about how with Quad's dealing with a lot. She, was opening up to her. The stuff with Toya, the stuff with Mariah. It's like, we need to just bury all that stuff, let it go. And I'm thinking that's great, but dang, I really don't care. I'm stumbling because I really don't care. Now, why do you have Dr. Simone driving? Don't we already know that that's going to be a problem? Don't we already... Come on now. Come on. Dr. Simone driving. Really? You gave her... Lord, she's acting like a real Floridian. Arguing. Just crossing lanes whenever she... Oh, Lord Jesus. Stop. But they're having fun. They're playing hopscotch. They go to a cigar... it's not a cigar bar, cigar shop, and they buy some cigars. Dr. Jackie in that smoking elation, she is not here for all of that. But next thing we know, we see Quad. She meets up with, the married couple that was usually facilitating her marriage counseling group. And she's just telling them that things aren't getting any better. Her and her husband don't have any communication, especially with the fact that he didn't take ownership of what he did. He still hasn't acknowledged that, yes, okay, I slept with her. I slept with the girl. And I'm thinking, but we all know it happened. Okay, so now I can understand why Quad would be upset. Now, we know that there's two sides to this, so, but the bigger question is, do we care about the other side? Not about if the other side has value, it's about, do we care about hearing the other side? We see a cute little, clip of Toya asking her son, I don't know if it was Avery or her other son, what's 5 times 4? I said, let's get that together. Hey, let's get that together now. She didn't do that. There was a little, gnat flying around. I'm thinking, it's October. Come on now. Mariah and Aiden take their daughter out, Lauren, to dinner. And Lauren had some questions because I guess when the whole family 3 weeks ago was sitting down, it was this whole thing of, so when was it that you dated? When was it that you dated? Lauren, she's very smart and aware, and especially in this smartphone internet world, she knows about the birds and the bees. She asked her parents about the birds and the bees, and they just had that look of, I'm thinking, wait, so you're saying you never had that talk? Now, again, that has nothing to do with if someone touches you here or there, let us know immediately and we'll take care of it. That talk's different. So they've definitely talked to her about sexual stuff before, but I guess about just full-on intercourse, she knows about it, though, unless they had her opt out of that in school. Because there's still some parents that don't want schools to teach their kids about sex. Just let the other students do that for you. Anyway, the conversation got bigger because it really wasn't just about that. It was really more so, again, when did they start dating? When can she start dating? What type of guys? And so I'm glad the conversation is being had. I guess that's why Mariah wanted to go and showcase her daughter on the show more, because wanted to show, hey, this is what's going on in our life, and it's super relatable. And so I thought, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Apparently, we do know that in Aiden's culture, arranged marriages are the norm. So the fact that him and I guess another sibling of his didn't have that, the family, I'm sure, still feels a certain way. And when I say the family, I'm presuming maybe more so his parents or grandparents or what have you. But that was pretty much it there. Contessa, she's super nervous because now is surgery the day.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
For surgery, and she's getting her kids ready, and she's kissing them and hugging them, and she's just saying she has a doctor's appointment. She has a doctor's appointment, and so she won't be able to pick up the kids at their regular time. And they're just like, okay, we understand, we got you. But I do think she's doing the right thing with the surgery and not having her kids, freak out and worry, because that's something hard to explain. That is definitely something hard to really explain with what type of surgery it is, what's going on. Dr. Jack, now it's the day of going to Dr. Heavenly's home, and we find out some more information about Dr. Heavenly's, background and home life in Miami. She talks about how obviously she lived in more so the poorer areas. Not only that, we learned that she wasn't allowed to go outside. She couldn't play in the neighborhoods because around back they were selling drugs. They were doing this. So, and that's unfortunately a lot of people, especially a lot of the black people's backgrounds, lived in originally the poorer areas and lived in the poorer areas, and so then it's certain things, and I get it. I get what Dr. Jackie is saying. Dr. Heavenly's social skills weren't built up even because she didn't go outside. Dr. Heavenly was saying, maybe she was overweight also because she never went outside. She just did everything inside. And so I can see that. We even find out that the house that she lived. Okay, I'm jumping too far ahead, but it's all starting to make sense. Her and her sister were both supposed to become doctors, so that's what the mother wanted for them. But she ended up becoming a dentist. Her sister was an office manager for her, I guess, dental practice. But then when they had the falling out, that's when all of that stopped, and she works in another office now. Now we see Dr. Heavenly's father. Dr. Heavenly's father, he is no longer with us. He did pass away. We find out how that happens later on. What matters at this point is that he was in the military. And unfortunately, after he came back from, handling the war, his skills with dealing with disciplining his daughters was very skewed, because he was used to doing things a certain way, especially as an army man, and their mother was raising them up until a certain point by herself. And he was definitely like, look, there was no margin for error or, doing anything that wasn't the way that he 100% wanted it to be done. Because if that happened, then, you get, punished. This happens. This happens. So, okay. Now Dr. Contessa, she actually gets a call from her father. Her husband's dropping the kids off. Her father calls and just says, I love you. I'll give you a call when you go to the hospital. And she appreciated that, because I guess they made a plan that he would go and, wake up on time and call her before her appointment. So you could tell that her spirits were raised. Now, once Dr. Scott comes back in, and he was saying, man, we were rushing for nothing. I see these line of parents trying to go and get the kids in there. Because that's how we are. We can't look bad in comparison to others. But once we find out, we're all the same? Okay, I'll bring them 30 minutes later. No, I'm just kidding. Contessa apparently also talked to Dr. Jackie, who went through that herself, except for she actually had it, cancer. So Dr. Jackie was really supportive about her doing it, reminded her she didn't need to do it, but supported the fact that she wanted to do it. So now she's going to be ready to go and do it. Dr. Heavenly, once they drive up to her home, and someone new does live there, they got that man's consent. But what matters is she gets a little nervous, because, like I said, the backstory about her life, she starts remembering it. When they're in the house, things go even worse, because we see that, wow, she lived in a part of the house where, I guess how it was redone, it's open now, and they have the kitchen, they have this and that. But at the time, when she lived there, it was a room, it was her room, it was really small, and the other important thing is that there was no windows. So this is a woman who went to school, went to church, what have you, came home and just stayed in the house, and a lot of times probably stayed in her small, cramped, windowless room. Couldn't go outside to play because it probably wasn't safe. We find out that her father died. He had heart complications, and it was sad because he died in his sleep, and no one even realized it. I think the mother, like almost a day later, realized it because he never went to work. He was just in that room. And I said, oh my gosh. And so Dr. Heavenly had to leave at that point, because she was having a panic attack, because she forgot about that. She forgot about the memory of her father dying, and what's also attached to that memory of her mother telling her when she was, I guess, a freshman in dentistry school. And Dr. Heavenly was just like, oh, well, I have a test later, because she was just so frazzled, and her mother was like, oh, don't worry about it, you don't need to come. And of course that had a big impact on her, the fact that her mom reacted that way. So of course she came, handled the funeral, but then she left and never came back. So I'm thinking, now this makes sense. Okay, now I understand. It's so she never developed social skills. Also grew up with a certain level of fear because her mother always kept the lights on. The lights were never off, including at night. And I believe that that happened because, think about it, she lived in a rough neighborhood. She lived in a rough neighborhood, and at least for a long time, she was a single mother. So it was her in the house with two other girls, young girls, which means that she has to watch over these girls. As soon as they leave the house, she was probably having panic attacks. Who knows? And one, if your lights are on, someone is always there. So maybe less likelihood of someone breaking in or whatnot. And two, if someone does break in, God forbid, at least you can see. And obviously there's a lot of people who still live like that. So I get it. That was a good moment for Heavenly because they even prayed after it because it's just like, look, they need that. Contessa, she's getting her surgery done. Of course, Dr. Scott's nervous because one, he probably preferred to do the surgery himself, and two, anything can happen. It's one thing when you're trying to assure other patients, but when you're the patient or your loved one's the patient, you know the real deal. Now, the episode is going to close out with Dr. Heavenly inviting her Miami friends and kind of going over the past and how it's like, oh, Dr. Heavenly, she used to get drunk. She used to do this. She used to do that. But she was always charismatic. She was always this and that. And they love her. And it was nice to see from other people's perspective, how Dr. Heavenly was. I think that was really important and positive. So she just thanked all the ladies for coming, and she's going to grow from this. So we'll see how. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.